There are plenty of books on meaning and purpose. While most regurgitate notions like follow your passion and hustle hard, the Ikigai Journey stands out. It doesn't feel like advice, but a reminder to align with our true nature and to live with purpose moment by moment. After marking most parts, I'll share the biggest lessons I pulled from it. So, if you're at a crossroads or refining your path, this might hit just as hard for you. And if you seek help with discipline, getting in shape, or magic rituals, my books and manuals might be just what you need. Shinkansen. Charges of magical intent are extra specific about the outcomes, but somewhat vague about the means. This enables the magic to follow the path of least resistance, which it usually does. The Ikigai Journey teaches us to organize our work around incremental improvements, to move from one doable change to another, following the path of least resistance. It is the Shinkansen effect, as it's how the Japanese bullet train Shinkansen came into being. And beyond work, the Shinkansen effect can be implemented for managing health, relationships, intellectual, artistic, and spiritual goals. Do the impossible. There is nothing more enjoyable than doing the impossible. Walt Disney. There are 3 steps to leverage the Shinkansen effect. Write down a seemingly impossible goal. As Francis Miralles and Hector Garcia say, if you feel you can achieve it relatively easily, it cannot be classified as quote-unquote bullet train objective. 2. Reverse engineer and note 10 perfectly doable steps, each coupled with what, how, and when. And 3. Take full ownership and reflect on this daily. And to make the Shinkansen effect part of your identity, write down and reflect on all the things that seemed impossible at one point. Here are some of my toughest ones. Not taking drugs or drinking, suppressing my appetite and building a head-turning physique, learning English so I can articulate myself and write books and content, and finally, liking how I look in front of the camera. Our life is full of mountains we believe to be forbidden or that we feel incapable of climbing, but the fog that prevents us from seeing the path ahead is usually the path through which we are viewing it. We have to wipe out our gaze clean of impossibilities as we would a steamed-up window before setting off on our way to the summit, because the impossible is in reality a mental label, a deceptive filter before our eyes." Unquote. Ganbarimasu. Anime protagonists often grow up with shortcomings and perhaps traumas, yet by following their ikigai, moving from one quest to another, they come up on top, unfolding their full potential. The Ikigai Journey encourages us to embody that archetype, embracing what's called Ganbarimasu. Ganbarimasu means doing as well as we can and, if needed, stretching beyond personal limitations with full determination. It is a secret to perseverance, and when coupled with the Shinkansen effect, Ganbarimasu results in a formula. Patience without action leads to a passive life. Patience with perseverance leads us to fulfilling our goals. Habits. Mentioning goals, they are useless without habits. To prevent that, the Ikigai Journey plugs the insights of Charles Duhigg, The Power of Habit. Habits are the subconscious options and invisible decisions that surround us on a daily basis. Habits are not eradicated, but replaced within existing routines. According to some, this takes 40 days. According to Duhigg, 21. Based on my experience, it depends. For instance, waking up at 5, 4, or even 3 a.m. is not like quitting speed or booze. Let me know what you think. A new habit begins as a choice, and at the end of this period of repetition, the new habit becomes an automatic pattern. In and of itself, this is the basis of self-discipline. As covered in my second book, discipline starts with, but never relies on decision-making, aka willpower. And while playing its initial role, willpower is a joke if not supported by automation and momentum. Feedback and adventures. Whatever you do, test it in the real world as soon as possible. The scientific method of trial and error is the only way to iterate and improve. Getting constructive criticism is ideal, but not always available. Conversely, feedback from reality is. All it takes is embracing the adventure and stepping out of our comfort zones. Children do not have trouble falling countless times when learning to walk. The trouble or problem, as identified by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, occurs when schooling enters the picture, numbing down children's curiosity and drive for exploration. Yet, the more we do things we thought we couldn't, the more we gain momentum, resilience, dignity, and hope. And such an inclination can be cultivated by doing simple but uncommon tasks like changing our routines and ways of accessing different places, visiting neighborhoods we've never been to, and simply learning something new and exciting. Words and NLP. Mentioning change brings us to the power of words and postmodern magic like NLP. If you want to change your reality, you have to change your language and banish negative or defeatist expressions along those that disempower you, because they place decision making outside your control. And the things you can do are 1. Create and sign a personal contract that you will take necessary actions towards something. 2. Reflect on it for 21 or more days so the habit solidifies. And 3. Give the whole operation a name. As the authors say, when something has a name, it exists forever. Magically, you basically create and nurture a thought form. It first turns into a reality and then a memory, or as Viktor Frankl would call it, an actualized potentiality you still refer to by its name. Given that our memories are stored in some corner of our inner being, we have to use the right words to evoke hidden memories and connect ideas. They are like springs opening up new universes. Words are spells with power to activate memories and neural patterns to make us more creative. For that very reason, it is important to become aware of the power of words. Unquote. Childhood dreams. The Ikigai Journey greatly complements its predecessor Ikigai. It advocates deep intro and retrospection, while Ikigai looks into the future, stepping on teleological systems like logotherapy and flow psychology. One way it does that is by advocating for taking inventory of childhood dreams. As we know from Telima, childhood passions hold critical information about our Ikigai or true will. Kabbalah stresses the importance of collaborating with your nefesh or animal soul, which carries the Freudian id, the Jungian shadow, and your inner child. Unlike what discipline gurus seem to preach, the nefesh is not to be punished but integrated. The Ikigai journey provides a straightforward approach to help with that and have fun. Note the 3 childhood dreams you have yet to realize. Meditate on how to bring each forth and couple each with 3 actionable items to eventually implement. Hindsight and Nostalgia. Although it may seem to us that feeling sad is a negative thing, scientists have shown that nostalgia can be beneficial for our health and for the achievement of our objectives, since it makes us recall positive memories and feelings. Unquote. Besides remembering the past, nostalgia can actually help us navigate future challenges with very clear goals and plans. You cannot connect the dots by looking forward, you can only connect them by looking backward. Steve Jobs. According to the authors, we all carry portable happiness reserves we can tap into when needed. Scents, memories, photos, music, events, etc. By identifying and polishing the golden hits of our lives, we can connect the dots. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Soren Kierkegaard. Questions to help you with all this are: what is your most important life event in the past 5 years? What happened before it? And which were the dots, aka the people, actions, and situations that led to it? What followed next? Worse than drugs. Few of us take steps to distance ourselves from this new drug, whose adverse effects have led to even the fathers of technology distancing themselves from their own creations. Unquote. Anxiety, depression, absenteeism, and even suicide. Recognizing those as side effects of social media, which is the worst drug I personally dealt with, the Ikigai Journey offers analog solutions like writing by hand, reading physical books, using analog tech like tape decks and record players, and most importantly, staying aware of the actual impact social media has on you. As I like to say, whatever you're going through, you can make it feel worse by going on social media. Slow life. The authors share my opinion that scrolling vastly defeats your optimization through diet, exercise, and behavior. They also disapprove of hustle culture and sheer busyness as truly productive, let alone meaningful. The Ikigai Journey advocates slow and mindful living coupled with somewhat moderate minimalism and basically letting ourselves enjoy as many moments as we can by actually staying present. Quote, "We just need to opt for a simpler, purer, and more satisfying life that is more fun and enjoyable." Unquote. Writing therapy. Writing is one of the most effective therapies. When we allow what's inside of us to come to the surface, we not only clarify and organize our thoughts and emotions, but also clean the subconscious of unnecessary burdens. This helps life move in the right direction. It is one of the reasons why writing is used in Morita therapy, which Ikigai has a whole chapter on. In a study they tested 2 groups. The first wrote about their emotions daily, the second didn't or just reported unimportant stuff. After a few days, amygdala activity in the first group dropped, which is a sign of emotional balance and lower stress. Turns out, simply journaling about what you feel regulates amygdala activity, putting you in a calmer and more grounded state. A journal is a logbook of your life. The journaling practice the authors offer comes down to three things. Write at the beginning and the end of each day whatever comes to mind without any judgment. Apparently, this is quite similar to Morita meditation but on paper, or even the mindfulness techniques found in Golden Dawn texts. 2. Note something that genuinely excited you during the day or something you are looking forward to. And 3. Aim to catch the positive side of things, especially when that's hard. Poetry. The Ikigai Journey encourages us to awaken our inner poets through haiku. Besides activating our true essence, haiku is a self-exploration device. The haiku master Basho Matsuo advocated finding meaning by actually practicing it. The good news is that knowing Japanese is not mandatory. Haiku is possible in other languages as long as it meets several criteria. It is written in the present tense, consists of 3 verses that do not rhyme, it is short enough to read aloud in a single breath, it includes reference to nature and perhaps the cosmos, and it expresses observation and astonishment. Offering to try it for 30 days, the authors add that haiku is always spontaneous, so if you think about it, it's really a form of freestyle, and perhaps freestyle is a form of haiku. Calligraphy. Haiku, calligraphy, Enzo circles. These are all Zen techniques revealing our hidden side. Maybe you can combine your writing and haiku or aphorisms with calligraphy. And if your inner child is into graffiti tags, which is kinda like calligraphy, you can journal and reflect by actually tagging. This is what I do instinctively. Another practice you can do is Enzo circles. According to Sho Teramoto, aka one of the ghosts of Japanese calligraphy, Enzo circles are photographs of the mind, direct projections of consciousness expressing much more than words. Uncertainty and serendipity. Remember what we covered about charges of intent. Habits and routines are essential, yet it is equally important to invoke some serendipity once in a while. Serendipity requires surrendering control and provoking new situations so that fortunate accidents and quote-unquote unplanned synchronicities can take place. It is precisely what we had on the internet before the algorithmic cages. Whether it is the randomness of Saturn or the element of luck of Jupiter, it is intentionally letting the universe surprise you. You can also do that by checking my products and books, just in case you need help with getting in shape, discipline, and ritual magic. But that's just my opinion. Let me know if you agree, check the Ikigai Journey, and thank you for your time.